We're going to look at solving equations with a variable on each side with grouping symbols. First, we want to distribute the negative 3. So we've got negative 3x minus 15 equals, distribute the 3x minus 3. Now I can get my variable on one side, so I want to add 3x to both sides because I like positive numbers. So we got negative 15 equals 6x minus 3. Then I can add 3 to both sides. So I've got 6x equals negative 12. And divide both sides by 6. So x equals negative 2. So to check, I'm going to replace x with negative 2 in the original equation. I've got negative 3 times 3, I hope equals 3 times negative 3. And sure enough, negative 9 equals negative 9, so I know my answer's right, even though I don't have odds in the back of the book. Once again, we want to start off by distributing. So I've got 3a plus 3, copy down the minus 5, equals 3a minus 2. I can combine my like terms. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. And if I subtract 3a from both sides to get my variable on one side, I end up with negative 2 equals negative 2, which it does. So my answer is going to be all real numbers. We don't have a nice check step on this one. You could also write the infinity symbol. Again, the first thing we want to do is distribute. So I'm going to have 5f plus 10 equals 6 minus 2f. Now to get my variable on one side, I'm going to add 2f to both sides of the equation. So I've got 7f plus 10 equals 6. I can subtract 10 from both sides. So 7f equals negative 4. Divide by 7. And it looks like I just get negative 4/7. This might be a nice one to use your calculator for the check step because it's going to be a bit messy. But I'm just going to do it using some fraction skills. So common denominator, to add negative 4/7 plus 2, I'm going to change that 2 into 14/7. So negative 4 plus 14 would be 10/7. And on the other side, I've got 2, and minus negative becomes a plus. So I'm going to make that 21/7 plus 4/7. So I've got 50/7 on the left, and 21 plus 4 is 25, which times 2 is also 50. So my negative 4/7 was the correct answer. I don't have as much to distribute this time, but that's still going to be my first step. So 18 equals 6c plus 6. Subtract 6 from both sides. And I've got 12 equals 6c. Divide by 6. And c equals 2. Going back to the original equation to check, where there was a c, I'm going to replace it with 2. So I hope 18 equals 3 times 4 plus 2, and of course 18 does equal 3 times 6. My check step worked, and I'm happy. First step, distribute. So I've got 5p plus 15 plus 9 equals 3p minus 6 plus 6. Well, when I go to combine my like terms, 15 plus 9 is 24, and negative 6 and positive 6 are additive inverses, so they just cancel out. Now I want to subtract 5p from both sides this time. I usually try to keep my coefficient positive, but if I move the 3p over, I'd leave it nothing on the right side. So 3p minus 5p is negative 2p. Divide by negative 2, and we have p is negative 12. Checking by going back to the original equation and substituting in the negative 12 that I got, I'm going to have 5 times negative 9 plus 9 equals 3 times negative 14 plus 6. Negative 45 plus 9, I hope, equals Negative 42 plus 6, and sure enough, negative 36 does in fact equal negative 36. So my check step worked, and I know my answer's right. Distribute again. This time I have a decimal, but it's okay. Copy down the right side because I don't have anything to distribute there. So I want to get my variable on one side. I'm going to add x to both sides. So 1.2x plus 1x would be 2.2x. Copy down the minus 2.4 equals 2, because negative x plus x is no x. Add 2.4 to both sides of the equation. And I've got 2.2x equals 4.4. Divide both sides by 2.2, and x equals 2. Check by substituting back into our original equation. Where there was an x, I'm going to replace it with 2 now. So I've got 1.2 times 0 equals 0. Sure enough. So I know 2 is the correct answer. 13 is going to start off a little bit differently because instead of multiplying both sides by something, they're dividing by 12. We could do cross products, or we could multiply both sides by 12. Comes out the same either way. I think cross products is kind of nice. So we're going to take numerator times denominator equals numerator times denominator. So I'm going to have 3 times a minus 8 equals 12 times 2a plus 5. Distribute. Oh, this looks familiar now. So 3a minus 24 equals 24a plus 60. Now I can get a on one side. I'm going to subtract 3a from both sides of the equation. So I've got negative 24 equals 21a plus 60. Subtract 60 from both sides of the equation. Negative 84 equals 21a. Divide both sides by 21, and a equals negative 4. Where there was an a, I'm going to replace it with negative 4. So simplifying, we're going to have negative 12 divided by 12, we hope equals negative 8 plus 5 divided by 3. Does negative 1 equal negative 3 divided by 3? Yes, it does. So negative 4 is the correct answer. This time I'm going to distribute the 2. So I've got 2w minus 2 plus 4 equals distribute the 4. 4w plus 4. Combine my like terms. I have w plus 2 equals 4w plus 4. I want to get my variable on one side, so subtract 2w from both sides of the equation. So we have 2 equals 2w plus 4. Subtract 4 from both sides of the equation, so negative 2 equals 2w. Divide both sides by 2, and w equals negative 1. Check. I'm going to put negative 1, every place there was a w. So I've got 2 times negative 2 plus 4, I hope equals 4 times 0. And sure enough, negative 4 plus 4 does in fact equal 0. So negative 1 was the correct answer. Well, we've got brackets and parentheses this time. Start inside our grouping symbols using PEMDAS. So we've got 2 plus 3y minus 3 equals 22. Combine our like terms. Negative 2 minus 3 is going to be negative 1 plus 3y. Distribute the 2. Distributing twice this time. So negative 2 plus 6y equals 22. Add 2 to both sides of the equation, so 6y equals 24. Divide by 6, and y equals 4. Replacing y with 4, I'm going to check to make sure it worked. I have 2 times 2 plus 3 times 3. I hope equals 22. So 3 times 3 is 9. And sure enough, 2 times 11 does equal 22. Distribute the negative 3. So we've got negative 3x plus 24 equals 24. I can, oh, I only have 1x. Okay. Subtract 24 from both sides of the equation. I'm confused. I don't have a variable on both sides. Negative 3x equals 24 minus 24 is 0. Divide both sides by negative 3. And x equals 0 divided by anything is 0. Quick check. Replacing x with 0. Sure enough, negative 3 times negative 8 is 24. Last one, we get to again distribute first. So I've got 12 minus 12y equals 10y minus 10. I want to get my variable on one side, so I'm going to add 12y to both sides of the equation. So 12 equals, negative 12 plus 12 is nothing. 22y minus 10. I'm going to add 10 to both sides of the equation. So I have 22 equals 22y. Divide both sides by 22. So we have y equals 1. Next step, substitute 1 in for y in our original equation. So I have 6 times 2 times 1 is 2, 2 minus 2 is 0, I think we can handle that, equals 5 times 2 minus 2 is 0, 0 equals 0, sure enough, so 1 was the answer.